Do you believe in New Year's resolutions? This question, along with being asked what your resolutions are going to be the basis of conversations around the water cooler as we're finally getting back into the normal swing of things and as the holidays and holiday breaks come to a close. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different, guys. I'm going to be asking a bunch of people these two questions, and we're going to see what we discover. All this and more on the first episode of the Fit United podcast for 2020. Welcome to the Fit United radio and podcast, where each episode we aim to bring you fresh, relevant fitness and health-related news, content, and interviews to help you reach new heights and ultimately become your best and fittest selves. All right, guys, in 3, 2, and 1, let's go. All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for joining me here on the Fit United podcast. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season and that you were able to ring in the new year with all the special people in your life. Now, for this episode, I want to do something a little bit different. I was thinking on New Year's Eve, actually, about who out there believes in New Year's resolutions. Now, I know for myself, I made a New Year's resolution a few years ago that changed my life forever. Now, I was not in the best shape. I was feeling fairly unhealthy, and I knew I had to make a change sooner than later. So I decided to join a fitness challenge. It started right around this time, the beginning of January, and it was a 90-day challenge. And the challenge was just to see how much change you could make in your body in that short period of time. Now, obviously, 3 months is not a very long period of time in the big scheme of things. So I thought, well, why the heck not? I mean, really, there's really no better time than now, not only because I knew I had to make some changes in my life, but also because the first 3 months of the year, there are really no distractions in holidays, birthdays, or special occasions, anything like that. So I know Valentine's Day is in February, but it's not really a holiday, especially because I was single at the time. So I really had no distractions from me achieving my goals. So nevertheless, 3 months later, I was 41 pounds lighter, below 10% body fat, and ultimately the winner of the challenge. Now, the one thing I realized about participating in something like this is that sometimes having an external motivator, such as a prize, really helped motivate me. Now, I think that's one thing you can implement in your life. It doesn't matter what time of year. If there's a goal you want to achieve, fitness-related or otherwise, commit to a specific reward for yourself once you achieve that goal. Now, when you have that carrot dangling in front of you, it's amazing the things you can achieve just by having that reward or prize for yourself for accomplishing your goal. Now, when I was thinking about this, I was super curious what other people felt about New Year's resolutions. So I decided to take the Fit United podcast on the road, so to speak, and I interviewed a number of people yesterday to see what their beliefs are around resolutions and goal setting. And so what I discovered was actually really interesting. I want to say thank you to our sponsor for this episode, TRX Suspension Training Systems. TRX, also known as Total Resistance Exercises, is a brand of exercise tools that you'll find in virtually every gym or fitness facility. The most common of these TRX tools is known as the TRX Suspension System. Now, there are these yellow and black straps that are either hooked onto the wall, a squat rack, or an S-frame, which is a specific anchoring system for the TRX. These straps use body weight as the resistance, which means you can progress or regress the difficulty as much as you want, all by just using your body weight in relation to the straps and the floor. Now, there are literally hundreds of exercises you can do using these suspension straps, and you can get a full body workout in 15 to 20 minutes. They even have an app that you can use to have guided workouts right on your phone. Now, as a personal trainer, I obtained my certification in the TRX suspension system a few years ago, and ever since then, it's been my favorite tool to use with all my clients, both beginner and advanced. Now, I particularly love another tool of theirs. It's called the Rip Trainer. Now, ask any of my clients, and they'll tell you they absolutely hate the thing, but they know just how good it really is for getting that full body workout. The rip trainer is essentially a metal rod attached to a band on one end. Now you can change the tension of the bands for added resistance, and with this one-sided tension, you're able to do unilateral exercises that really help you identify your body's imbalances so you can improve on them. Now the TRX suspension training is a staple in my workouts, and is even an essential part of many global group training brands like Orange Theory. The best part of these tools is that they're super portable, and you hook them up to anything wherever you are. Hey, you're on vacation, you're at the beach, hook it up to a palm tree. You're at a park, attach it to a fence, top of a soccer net, even the basketball hoop. At home, you can hook it up over your door and get that full body workout in the comfort of your own home. Now, I could talk about the benefits of these tools forever, but if you want one of these tools for yourself, until January 14th, you can get $30 off all trainers on the TRX website and free shipping on orders over $99. Now, there's no code required. You just have to use the link that I'll put for you guys in the show notes. Now, full disclosure, I am an affiliate of TRX, so what that means is if you buy something from TRX using the link, I do get compensated a little bit for it. Now, the good thing is it doesn't cost you any more for doing this, and at the same time, you're supporting the Fit United podcast. So remember, guys, $30 off any trainer and free shipping over $99 using the link in the show notes. Now, you only have till January 14th to get your own trainer. So I very highly recommend that you guys jump on this deal. So as many of you know, I am a coach at Orange Theory Fitness, and I wanted to see what some of the staff and members thought about setting New Year's resolutions and goals. So here it is, guys, my interviews with the lovely people at my studio. Okay, guys, I'm at Orange Theory Fitness, South Surrey, where I coach, and I've got Colin Thompson here. He's the studio manager, and I'm going to ask the very important question, first of all. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we got a believer. Okay, I think you're in the minority. So because you do, what are your New Year's resolutions for the year?
My New Year's resolutions would be to trim up my diet a little bit. I do a little bit too much late night snacking, and it's one of the things that I preach about, so I'm going to try and practice it as well.
Beauty. All right, it's about the food intake. Is there anything else? Any other resolutions you got?
Not at the moment, but I also believe that they don't have to be all made on New Year's Day. You can kind of keep it going as you go throughout the year, as long as you stick to something and commit to it.
I love it. It doesn't have to be on day one. All right, I love it. Thank you, Colin.
You got it.
All right, so I've got John here, and same question. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I think they're pretty a good idea. If the want and desire is there, I think people can succeed, but there has to be a good enough reason to do it. And then I think, if the reason is good enough and the willpower is there, but sometimes willpower comes in increments. You're not going to go from 0 to 100 miles per hour, and it takes time.
Right. No, I agree. Now, would you say, do you have any for yourself for this year?
Yeah. Tighten up my dieting, I suppose. It's everybody does it, I suppose. Everybody January 1st probably has the same one, but no, definitely tighten up the junk food, drop the wine and the beer a little bit more, and eat a little bit better, more wholesome foods.
I think we got away with it for holidays now. We can tone it down a little bit, right?
That's right.
All right, thanks, John.
Cool.
Okay, so I've got Nancy now, and I'm going to be asking her exactly the same thing. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
I believe it's a way to start setting goals for yourself, as long as you make it achievable.
Right. Now, would you say you have some yourself?
Yes, I have. I've set that I will start walking again first thing in the morning until the end of January.
Perfect. And then what happens at the end of January?
Well, hopefully then it's a habit.
I love it. So 30 days to get that habit in. Do you have anything that's outside that's not fitness related or health related? That's a resolution.
No resolutions.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Nancy. All right, so I got a Kasha now, one of our sales associates in the studio. And Kasha, do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
No, I don't.
Really? Okay, well, why not? Share with us why not.
I think that you should be making resolutions all the time. I don't think it should be confined just to one period of the year.
So, because it's not just for New Year's, I think Colin agrees with you. Do you have any resolutions that you already had even before the New Year?
I do. It was some silly ones. I'm trying to do a little bit of yoga every day, whether it's 5 minutes, 20 minutes, or a full class.
I like it. It's kind of like your way of meditation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Any other ones that are not kind of health related? Anything else that you have that's a resolution?
Playing the piano. I just started to learn to play the piano in October, so I'm trying to set a goal for the entire calendar year to practice about 2 times a week for 40 minutes.
That's amazing. Okay, so I know you already speak like multiple languages, but piano is a whole nother language than how you're going to be speaking. So do you have like a song in mind that you want to be able to play?
I don't. Not just one in particular. I think I've started to learn, I love Queen, so I started to learn Bohemian Rhapsody, so that's the main. Yeah, that's the main.
Love it. Okay, well, let us know when you can play it, and I want to hear it.
Sounds good. I will let you know.
Thanks, Kasia. Okay, so I got Sean now, one of the members here at Orange Theory, and again asking, do you believe in New Year's resolutions or not?
Well, I know you want a yes or no answer, but for me, it depends.
Ooh, I like that it depends, because there's more to it than that, right?
Absolutely. I believe in everything in moderation. So New Year's resolutions, depending on what they are, can set yourself up for failure as well as much as you can for success. So I try and find things in life that I can alter slightly that will position myself more successfully than saying I'm going to eliminate this exclusively or I'm going to go 7 days a week to the gym, because the first time I miss, I've now made it unsuccessful, and you're just going to fall off the wagon.
So sometimes going too big too quick is going to set you up for failure rather than success.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's just my motto, is everything in moderation. Tweaks, changes, good.
So what kind of little tweak would you have in your life right now?
Well, for me, it's going to be for 2020, going to try and do a little bit more physical activity, and then just reduce some of the kind of bad ends for foods.
And I think that's most people is the food challenge, is that trying to cut that down or just to be a little bit smarter about it. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always the biggest thing, because you open your fridge and you feel like if you haven't set yourself up good there, then it's just easy to fall.
Well, whatever's easy to grab, right?
Yes.
Anything else, Sean?
No, that's good. Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. Okay, I got Travis here with me. So the question is, do you believe in New Year's resolutions or not?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you do, what are they? Do you have any?
I didn't make any this year, but if I was to make one right now, it would be to lose 10 pounds by June.
That is amazing. Okay, so how many pounds have you lost now since you started here at Orange?
I've lost 6 since August, and I gained 2 back over Christmas.
Honestly, I love it.
Maybe 3, but my goal is to be down to 2 to 205 by June.
Okay, see, there's a timeline. It's a smart goal. He knows when he's going to get it.
Yeah, sooner.
Any other resolutions?
No.
Perfect. Thank you, Travis. All right, we got Mike here now. Same question to you, man. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions or not?
I believe in New Year resolutions. Yes, I do.
Okay, so does that mean that you have one?
I've inspired myself to run a 10K this year, and I'm going to do that by the end of the summer, and hopefully I can be even more comfortable running further distance.
Love it. 10K. Do you have one in mind? A specific event or?
There's a Run for Water out in Abbotsford that I've been asked to participate in, and of course there's the Sun Run, but I think I'll just start locally here and see how I go.
10K, man. I'm counting on it. Perfect. Thanks, Mike. Okay, we got Michael now. Same question to you. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions or not?
Apparently they work for some people, but they're not for me. I have to get stubborn, and then something changes, and that doesn't just happen at New Year's.
Now, given the progress that you've made since you've joined Orange Theory, how is it that you managed to make all that progress without a necessarily resolution, but I'm assuming you set a goal for yourself?
Well, that first class, which you ran, by the way, was so difficult because I was so fat and out of shape that I just got stubborn and disgusted with myself and decided not to quit.
So there in itself is a motivator, the state that you were in your first class.
It certainly was, yeah. It was embarrassing.
And I appreciate your honesty, because sometimes those are the things that push us over the edge and make changes in our lives, yeah?
Well, it worked for me. Plus, you are a good coach, so.
I appreciate that, Michael. And now, obviously, you made all the progress, so that's awesome to see.
My pleasure.
Thanks, man. Okay, so I got Guy now here, and my question for him is just the same as everyone else. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions, yes or no?
I do believe in picking a time of year, and New Year's is a good time because it's just natural as a refocus. But you've got to think longer term than that, and I think that the resolution should be made at any time. My resolution recently was to drink more water, which is a simple one, and just finding ways, and to take that day to sit back and plan and figure out how you can best execute that resolution as opposed to just blindly going, I'm going to do this, and then not putting any effort into it and thinking it's going to happen. So
I love it. I think the water thing, the hydration thing is huge, and the fact is you planned it as well. You got like an execution plan around even just a simple resolution.
So some of my plans, every time I go to the washroom, I have to drink a glass of water, and it's a nice cyclical way of doing that. So it's
kind of like you piss it out, but then you got to replenish it back.
Just a reminder for me to stick with it. So I've been listening to a book by James Clear called Atomic Habits, which is excellent about a whole bunch of techniques to change habits because it can be so tricky. But that's one of them, yeah.
I love it. All right, and he's got a resource too. The other one that I like is High Performance Habits by Brennan Burchard. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one.
Yeah, no, familiar with the guy, yep. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, guy. Any other resolutions that you got besides the hydration?
Working on my posture. Yeah, standing up straight, feeling confident.
Love it. And I think that's huge too, in the long run, because we're getting older too, right? There we go, guys. All right, thanks, guy. Okay, I've got Nicky now. Nicky's going to be a future guest on the podcast, but we've got her here just after class. Question to you, do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
For myself, not so much. I believe more in setting goals, more around racing and whether it's marathons or half marathons or Ironmans. So that always keeps me focused, but I do it year round. I think resolutions are good to get people started. So if that gets people either being more generous in life or thinking about different ways to improve their life or other people's lives, I think that's always a good thing. But I think it's something you have to revisit and switch up so that you feel successful, because it should never feel like a failure.
I love that, actually. And I like that you said that it's not just have to, and it's a good time of year, but it's not tied down to that one time of year in particular. So for you then, what would those goals be, at least for the next few months or leading up for the next year?
Well, I already started training for my next race, but that was in the works before the new year anyway. So I always try to have a race before I finish another race, just so you don't get that post-race blues. So you have something else to look forward to and train towards, and keeps you sort of fit and energized and interested.
See, I love that because it's not tied to the time of year. Like you have, after you finish an event, you set another goal for another event, and that's kind of your timeline. It's not the calendar year.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be a bigger race or a harder race. It just, it could be for fun or a charity run, just something to keep you interested and going and energized, really.
I love it. Okay, thank you, Nicky. Okay, I've got Stefania and Deanna. Yes, you're here now. We're on it. Okay, so the question goes to you guys. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions? Yes or no?
No.
I like it. Okay, simple answer, no. But why is it that you don't believe in New Year's resolution?
I think resolutions, you end up by the second week of January just letting them go. But if you have goals, which means you have a plan to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, you actually take steps to accomplish it throughout the year. So I think you're more likely to accomplish that than to just say, oh, I think I'm going to give up sugar, and then 2 weeks in, you don't do that.
So it's just like you put that statement out there really just to satisfy the need to perhaps have a resolution, but really no steps to actually accomplish it, right?
Right. There's no steps to support what you ultimately want to do, and so it doesn't end up coming to fruition. But if you have the plan, then it's not a resolution, it's a goal, and you end up achieving it.
So would you say then you have goals for this year or for the next few months leading up to, I guess, for 2020?
I do, yeah.
Are you willing to share at least one?
Well, it's complicated, but essentially they focus around continued wellness, ensuring that I put my health before my work, ensuring that I stick to a healthy workout and eating regime.
Perfect. Now, see, that's a very thought out, smart goal. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, Deanna, you're up. You ready? All right. So same thing to you. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
Absolutely.
All right. So we got a yes, we got a yay and a nay. So why is it that you believe in a New Year's resolution?
I think because after Christmas, we all kind of get lazy, that lag time between Christmas and New Year's, and it's a good time to kind of refocus and set goals. I think we all kind of need to take time throughout the year to set goals, and it can be sort of whenever time you want, but I always think that it's just sort of a good time to reflect back on what you accomplished the year before and then look forward at what you're hoping to achieve the coming year.
So, I know you just finished your master's, right?
I did, yes.
So that's a big milestone. So now that you finished that, any other academic perhaps goals that you have?
Yes, I just started the real estate course.
I think I saw that as well. That's wild. So is that the ultimate goal once you finish the real estate course? You want to get into real estate as an agent?
I've already started working for a developer, so I might bring a sales team in-house eventually, but I won't be an agent myself.
Well, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
All right. So I got Alyssa here with me, asking you the same question I've asked a lot of the members now. So what do you believe in New Year's resolutions, or yes or no?
Okay, listen, it's more than a yes or no question for me, okay? Here's the thing. I believe in resolutions, but I don't believe in a New Year's resolution. And I'll tell you why. Because I think that goal setting is important throughout the year. And if we only set it for the new year, that's telling yourself that you can only make resolutions once a year. Even if you do goal setting, I just don't like the fact of a New Year's resolution. Why can't you make a resolution every week, every month, or attainable goals, how you're going to get to those goals, make a plan, hold yourself accountable.
No, I love it. I love it. And I think that's kind of the ongoing theme is that resolutions it kind of pigeonholes you into having just a one time of year where you have these goals. Whereas you're saying you can set them all throughout the year and call them whatever you want, resolutions, goals, whatever, right?
Exactly. And I do make New Year's resolutions, and they do hit different. I do believe in that. But yeah, I believe in all year, all day, all hour goals.
Okay, so can you tell me maybe one or two of those goals? What have you got?
Okay, one of them, I'm doing it right now. I suck on nicotine mints, okay? That is my New Year's resolution, is to stop the nicotine mints. I don't even smoke. My second one,
Okay.
second one is to continue working out.
Love it. And so more so than you are now is what you're saying.
Well, okay, right now, I'm doing my best. Twice a week at Orange Theory. I don't know if I can say that, but Orange Theory.
Yes, you can.
And then every single day I want to be doing something active.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so we got some goals. And Alyssa is going to be a future guest on this podcast in a couple of weeks, so tune in for that.
You guys are going to be sick of me by then.
Thanks. Okay, I got Anit with me now, and I've been asking everybody, do you believe in New Year's resolutions? How about you? Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
I don't. I did for a while, and I found that I was constantly just setting myself up for failure. So I stopped making New Year's resolutions completely, and I just started to set up goals for myself. And they could be health focused, or they could be like mental health focused, or like other career-wise, but I stopped making that because I was just setting myself up for failure.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense, because I think that's the ongoing theme that I'm hearing is that we're setting goals rather than New Year's resolutions, so you're not tied down to a specific time of the year to make these goals, right?
Yeah, I found myself that if I didn't, lose a certain amount of weight, or I wasn't getting to, a certain fitness goal, being able to run a certain amount or by a certain time, then I felt that I got deflated. So then I needed to change my approach, and it was more thinking about it as a lifestyle and something that I wanted to continually do. I think that was recommitting each year. So that was that from that perspective, it was looking at, okay, where do I want to go, and do I want to stay committed to this, or do I want to make a change? And it was better for my mental health, to be honest.
And I think that's actually a really good point that you make, because when you make a more sustainable, realistic, perhaps, goal, you don't set yourself up for failure, and then it doesn't mess with you on the mental, psychological side of things. And I know you set a goal last year, and I tried to help you out a little bit with the meal plans. How was that going? Are you still kind of following up with that and still kind of continuing a little bit?
Yeah. I totally am. I had to, like with any meal plan, I had to adapt it to my lifestyle and the way that I was feeling. I've been working through a lot of like food allergies, a lot of fatigue. So I had to, tweak to make it work for me. But it was more about, what came up for me was more the emotional side of it, the emotional eating and what I was doing when I was stressed out. So it was really good to actually stick to something, to have some consistency and realize that there were some triggers in there for me that were coming up from a stress perspective, and it was nice to be able to continue with that meal plan. I still am. I'm just adapting it to my own person.
And I think that's awesome that you say that, because now you had this thing that almost like a guideline, and was able to identify certain triggers, like you were saying, and you were able to progress from it, right?
Totally. It was very much, it was eye-opening for me, because I'm like, this is how much I actually have to eat. You have to change your perspective. It's actually, you got to eat more sometimes to be able to be healthy, right? So changing that script to be health focused is so important.
I love it. Okay, so can you share with us maybe one or two goals that you have? Not resolutions, but goals you have kind of in the next few months or next year perhaps.
Okay. So my first goal that I set for myself for this year, I'm going to sign up for a 10K. I've done a half marathon before, but I fell out of my training. So I'm wanting to do a 10K, and I want to do it under a minute. Do it under an hour.
Damn, that's fast.
Yeah, under an hour. Sorry. Yeah.
And I think I that was my goal before with the Sun Run. So a 10K under an hour is freaking awesome. Okay, what was your other goal?
I think for me, I'm trying to, with my work, and I'm in school right now as well, so I'm trying to incorporate meditation every morning, because I find that when I balance myself and ground myself in the morning, it really sets my day up right, and it's helping with the stress so much.
That's amazing. You know, that's something that I think I lack is the meditation, starting the day off right. It's huge. I read Robin Sharma. I don't know if you know Robin Sharma and whatever, and they're always talking about how to set your day up right from the beginning, and then that way you kind of set yourself up for success, right?
Yeah, that's it's been so helpful for me in terms of my mental health, emotional health, spiritual health as well. So it's been great.
I love it. Thanks, Anit.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got Fiona and Craig here with me, so I'm going to be asking you guys the same questions as I did with the others. Do you believe in New Year's resolutions, yes or no, Fiona?
I do not. And I don't because I believe you can make a change any time of the year. I don't think you have to wait for a specific day. And I think that sometimes when people wait for a specific day, they end up being disappointed because they set themselves up for too much change at once.
Perfect.
No, I was just going to say, they don't take it slow. You got to make change over time.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I think because you set yourself up for failure because you're taking on too much too quick. Craig, what do you think?
I'm of a similar opinion, actually. I believe that if you want to do it any time of the year, you can do it any time of the year. Maybe actually choose like February when all the Christmas and New Year things died down, and then maybe set something in February, I think is a good thing. That's what I've done in the past. So.
Right, I love that, actually. And I think you mentioned something earlier about the difference in generations and how we approach things. What do you think about that?
I think that through my work, I employ a lot of younger people than myself, and it's interesting when you have that conversation with people that are from a different generation. I think that maybe it was in generations past, like parents and grandparents always believed very strongly in New Year's resolutions, and maybe I think younger generations coming through, certainly I don't see their passion and desire to maybe have them as much as maybe older generations once did. So
that's really interesting, actually. So would you guys say now that you don't necessarily believe in setting a New Year's resolution, do you have kind of goals that you got coming up for the next that you want to achieve in the next little while?
I think I always set goals, but I look more to the future than the past. So instead of setting a specific date and having to be specific on that, my goal really is to get stronger. And I know that I'm not going to be able to do that in 2 months, 3 months, even 6 months. I'll see small changes, but to actually physically get stronger to where I want to be, it's going to be a long process. And if I try to remake that every year, I'm going to be disappointed.
So like almost like micro goals that you kind of progress slowly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Love it. Okay, Craig, what do you got for me? Any goals?
Yeah, goals just trying to maintain a level of health and be in good shape for my children. Making sure that you can run as fast as them and be as sharp as them. That would be nice. But yeah, just keep up with the fitness and just trying to stay in good health. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay, guys, there are my interviews with some of the members and staff at Orange Theory, my studio. Sounds a lot like the takeaways from those conversations are that goal setting is the most important thing, and it doesn't really matter what time of year, as long as you're setting goals. But on top of that you're setting goals with one intention, but with a plan around those goals so that you can accomplish them. I think to blindly set a resolution or goal out there and just putting it out into the world, it's great. But when you don't have a plan to execute, that's what is setting us up for failure and not being able to achieve those goals. So that's what I learned from these guys. I agree 100%. For me, a lot of my goals this year are career related. Obviously, my goal is to grow the Fit United podcast. I love communicating with you guys, as you know, and I want to grow this audience. I want to grow this platform and be able to connect with you guys on a deeper level. So that's one of my goals. Career goals as a coach, as a personal trainer. I want to continue building that business. And really, at the end of the day, when I have these conversations with my wife, Misha, and other people close to me, these goals are centered around my family now. Obviously, we've got little one, and that is what's driving my decisions these days. Obviously, when I was single, it was very different. My focus was different. It was all about me. Now, the things that I'm doing for myself ultimately are benefiting my family as well. So those are my goals for 2020. Okay, guys, this is my fun way of reaching you. All right, it doesn't require you to be sitting at home scrolling on your phone up and down mindlessly. You can listen on the go, whether you're commuting, during your workout, having a bath, whatever. I love communicating and being able to talk and listen to you guys. That's what gets me fired up every day. So with that in mind, if you have any topic suggestions for the podcast, have any questions or comments, send me a voice message on the Anchor app. Send me a message on Facebook /Fit United, on Instagram, kevingreen.fitness, or at Fit United. Of course, on our website, fitunited.com. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe, guys, on your favorite podcast app. Okay, Kevin here signing out. I will see you guys on the next one. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.